Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. Today, I'm going to be going over all of the recording equipment that Russ uses to record his own songs. So let's hop right in and get to it. First off, Russ is a rapper from Atlanta, Georgia, and he rose to fame by uploading a new song every week to SoundCloud starting back in 2015. Russ records his own songs by himself, and he's always been a huge advocate for owning your own studio equipment. So check out this clip of him explaining why he believes this to be the best method for artists to make music.
You need to get an in-home studio because the fact that people are still paying for studio time in 2020 is insane to me.
What's the cheapest I could pay for good quality?
Let's say this though. Let's say you're paying $100 an hour, right?
All right.
After 30 hours, which is not that much studio time. Let's call it 30 fucking 1 hour sessions. You feel me? You've already spent money that could have got you the same studio setup that I had at my boy's house that I did my whole career on.
So the first piece of equipment that we'll discuss is what microphones Russ uses. And he actually went live on Instagram a while back and showed us exactly which microphones he has.
He got the 4 mic setup. This the Sony C800 or some shit like that. It's like $10,000. I never use it because I personally don't like it. This is my cheapest mic, and this is what I did basically my whole career on. Like everything y'all heard up in like 2017, 2018. And I still was using that. I mean, that's even Missing You Crazy, etc. I would jump around with this one when I would be on the road. This is the Neumann TLM 103. This is like Psycho and Ain't Nobody Take My Baby. This is the one I really be using the most. This is the Manly. I got put onto this at Scott Storch's house and just loved how I sounded with it. So this is like Wife You Up. This is basically end of 2017 throughout. But once again, like I would randomly bounce around. This one I just take on the road with me because it's really easy to set up and shit. Doesn't have like the shock mount crazy. Not that that's difficult to set up, but it's like literally you just screw the mic on and then you're ready to go. So it's easy for tour. But yeah, like I said, this is Losing Control. This is the whole SoundCloud mic. And like first album. And then, oh no, that's not even true. That's what I'm saying. Like this is the one I would be on the road with. This is the shit that I use for basically everything else. This is the one I've been bouncing around with too and using the majority of the time in my house.
All right, so there were 4 microphones in total that he owns and uses. The first one was the Blue Baby bottle microphone, and you can see here that it costs about $400. And he stated that he used this a lot in the earlier stages of his career. So we can assume that this was probably the first mic that he owned, and he was using this to record a lot of his earlier stuff that he was putting out on SoundCloud, and also some of the songs from his first 2 albums. The second microphone he mentioned was the Neumann TLM 103, and you can see here that it costs around $1,200. And just gauging from the price point, you know, this one being about $800 more than the Blue Baby bottle mic, this was probably his second mic that he purchased to help increase his sound quality as he started to gain more and more followers. And he mentioned that he took this microphone on the road with him a lot because it was easier for him to set it up and break it down. And so you can see here from his Instagram post from 2016 and 2017 that he was on the road quite a bit with touring and doing various festivals. So having this mobile setup with the Neumann TLM 103 kind of allowed him to have a high quality recording setup, you know, no matter where he was, whether he was in a hotel room, where he was on a tour bus. It always allowed him to stay recording his songs, which was super important because, you know, he was trying to drop a song every week on SoundCloud. Next, he mentioned the Manly reference microphone that he recorded with when he met up with the producer Scott Storch at his house, and he said he fell in love with the sound of his voice on this microphone, so he ended up buying one for himself. And y'all can see that it was a pretty big jump in price from his first 2 microphones. $3,300 isn't cheap, but again, at this point in his career, he has the money from his music to reinvest it in himself and his sound quality. The last microphone that he mentioned was the Sony C800G, and this one is the most expensive mic that he owns, almost $11,000. And in that Instagram live video, he did mention that he doesn't really like the way his voice sounded on that microphone, but that video was from like 3 years ago, and you can see him here in his studio recording his audiobook using the Sony C800G. And Also here, he's recording with Ty Dolla $ign in the studio using the Sony C800. So maybe he has changed his mind on the way he, thinks he sounds on that mic, but it appears that he is mainly only using the Manley reference microphone at this point. Pretty much every time he posts himself on social media while recording vocals in his home studio, he has that microphone out. But again, he did mention using the Neumann TLM-103 microphone while being on the road, and you can see him here in August of 2021 still using that mic while on vacation in Utah.
What I take on the road with me, I'll tell people exactly, is the Neumann TLM-103, which I thought it was 2,500. It's actually like 1,100.
I got the one.
The Apollo Twin or the Apogee Duet. Apollo Twin is like 900. Apogee Duet is like 500. The Sennheiser 285 headphones are like 200, and my MacBook. That's it.
And how much is all that?
I don't know, what's that, 1,100?
So you put that in the book bag?
Man, it's 30-something hundred, man.
2,200 for the mic and the laptop. 900.
5,000.
Yeah, 3,500.
But you ain't got to
right
get
in your
you don't have to
book
get
bag.
the top of the line mic that he has.
Yeah.
You don't have
You
to
don't?
get.
No, you
so
don't.
it could be a lot more inexpensive.
Of course, it could be. But
Get
it's
a
like,
used MacBook?
yeah, MacBook. I use Logic. I make the beats in Logic, record in Logic, mix the shit in Logic. Like, ain't nobody take my baby and Psycho Part 2, which are both platinum on my TuneCore, all done, everything by me, were made in hotel rooms with no speakers and I didn't sound treat the room. I'm in a fucking hotel room.
So that's pretty much it for microphones, and the next thing we'll talk about is the audio interface and preamp that Russ uses. So you can see here on Twitter, he responded to a fan and he let them know that he bounces back and forth between the Apogee Duet and the Apollo Twin. And keep in mind, this tweet was from 2017, so these were what he was using in the earlier stages of his career. The Apogee costing around $700 and the Apollo Twin costing around $1,000. And you can see from these various posts from his Instagram where he is using both of these interfaces, primarily the Apollo Twin. And what's nice with these interfaces is how small and portable they are. Russ was on the road a lot doing shows and kind of coming up and getting his name out there, so it makes sense that he would want to have something like this that he can just bring with him. You can see him here reaching for the Apollo Twin in his music video, and then also it's sitting right here next to his laptop while he's making the beat for What They Want. So the Apollo Twin was definitely a main feature in his recording setup in the earlier stages of his career. And for those of y'all that are unfamiliar with what an audio interface is, it's basically a device that you can plug your mic, headphones, and speakers into, and then it's going to convert all of the audio to and from your computer. So basically it's just a more expensive and versatile sound card compared to the ones that come already installed on your computer or laptop. And now that Russ has kind of been upgrading all of his gear, he is currently using the Apogee Symphony as his interface now, and then also he is using the Avalon 737 preamp, which is external to the interface, and it basically is what gives the mic a clean audio signal. In the clip, you can see these two pieces of equipment are just so nice, and they're not cheap, about $4,000 to $5,000 for the Apogee Symphony, and then about $4,000 for the Avalon preamp. So he definitely made some big additions to his vocal recording gear. Now he still uses his Apollo Twin when he's on the road and away from the home studio, like you see here in the clip of him out in Utah. He's recording with the Neumann TLM-103 mic going right into the Apollo Twin. So in essence, Russ really demonstrates that in the long run, it's worth it to own your own recording equipment, and he shows you that you don't really have to have all of the best gear to get started making high quality songs. So check out this clip of him talking about his recording equipment when he first started.
Just to like be fully transparent, that was the Baby Bottle Blue mic, which was like $500, $600. Apogee Duet audio interface was like $500. Excuse me, because that's, what is that, fucking $1,100. What's it called? Speakers. Honestly, you don't even need speakers. I be recording in my hotel rooms with just the headphones. You feel me? And then a MacBook. So $1,500, whatever the fuck that is. So you're looking at roughly $2,500 to $3,500, give or take. And I mean, I did Losing Control on that. That's 5 times platinum. I did What They Want, triple platinum. I did Missy You Crazy platinum.
All right, y'all, so that's it for the video. I hope everyone that stuck around this long can do me a favor and subscribe, as well as hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see y'all next time.